Oh my God, do somebody please say it ain't so. Dame Dash finally addressed Camron. He ain't got no teeth. He don't even have an eyeball. And he's letting it be known that Camron did him wrong. We all know that Camron started the fall of Roc-A-Fella Records. A lot of people would say Camron is the reason why Roc-A-Fella broke up. Now Dame Dash is confirming and addressing things. And it's so sad to see best friends become enemies.
This thing I saw, because you brought it up, about you talking to Memphis Bleak on your platform about the presidency of Roc-A-Fella. Number one, it was the vice presidency that we spoke about. But all we did was have a conversation between someone that I respected to be able to have a real conversation with. Until I got to talk to the rest of my crew about it, it's just called talking ideas. And where I'm from, it's not thorough to have a really private conversation and go to the radio and tell everybody before everyone else knows. Now, I just thought you were young, and I didn't even let you know, but I think you know how many problems that mistake you made caused. But you never said nothing to correct it. And now you're saying something about the presidency, which is not true. Sitting with people that you used to disrespect daily, at least that's what I used to see, laughing about the fact that you misspoke, not caring about how much damage that caused to Roc-A-Fella. Memphis Bleak told you that started everything. And it's all because of a conversation we had that you went and made public. That's not some Harlem shit. That's some young shit. But now that you're about 50 years old, just laughing about it, thinking that that's funny, without caring about the recourse of this mistake you made, my advice is I don't think that's the way to approach it. And if you do have someone like Bleak, you should ask them why they were so mad. And I think you should have explained to them that, number one, you weren't going to be doing shit at Roc-A-Fella. You were going to be running Dipset. Nothing to do with Roc-A-Fella. And Beanie was going to be running State Property. But that was just a conversation I had it with Beans. But y'all never talked. So now that I'm seeing how you're laughing at it, I'm wondering if you did it on purpose. Because it doesn't seem as if there was good intention. There's no remorse for it. I don't appreciate that. So that would be a conversation I'd have with you, like, bruh, you actually went up there and talked about a personal conversation before I told anyone else and got to talk to them. So let's say Jay or Big disagreed with it, or it was too much friction, it wouldn't have happened. But that's not the reason why it didn't happen. The reason why it didn't happen was because after you got off the radio, from what I remember, you had your lawyer send me something saying I was going to have to pay you $750,000 to do it. And I just said, forget it. Maybe I'm wrong. And then you attacked my art. So I have to address it. You gave an opinion on my art, I'm going to give an opinion on yours. Since Roc-A-Fella, I haven't seen you make a hit record yet. And to the extent that you're no longer, rapping. So I always wondered about that. I'd be like, I don't understand why you're not putting out these records like you used to. But, at the time, I don't think you weren't coming around, because I think that thing had happened in front of my cousin where, homeboy punched you in your face, and you never had that conversation with me. I had to hear about it through my cousin because you're very non-confrontational. I believe that Sen, who's next to you, P-Hef, everyone, all your friends, and we all know that you've always been very sensitive and that you are very overreactive. So it's hard to tell you the hard truth. But the truth, Cam, is I just feel like, you've been overreacting, you know, and I don't think your justification for the things you're saying to the people that you love or that did so much with you, I don't think that, I don't think it's justified. And again, and again,
Let's be real, when Dame was younger, I don't think anybody would have been trying to beef. When he still had stamina, I don't think Camron would have ever came out his mouth wrong. He heard about the diabetes, Dame doing bad. But that don't mean Master Roshi can't pull a can of whoop ass out of his dentures. And it don't sound like Camron want none of that smoke. People don't respect their elders. Even though Cam and Dame is around the same age, when you start doing bad, you become older than everybody you grew up with. Cam said Dame's movie was whack, and it's sad to see that Dame Dash thought Camron's music was whack all along.
back to the art. So the reason why you're saying you didn't promote Honor Up is because, I don't know, I for the clip I saw, you were saying because I threw you in a scene or you came to visit. We spoke about Honor Up. You did come in the scene, pause. But we also did a lot, like you showed up 3 or 4 times and do a lot of other scenes, which you did. And at the time, you were telling me that you wanted to make sure that Juju was expanding her brand. So I thought I was doing you a favor. And I don't remember any of this, just get in and freestyle and all that. Maybe it might have happened one day, but again, when would I ever come to a video set of yours and not jump in the video? But I don't remember it quite being that way. What I do remember is you did show up a couple of times. You were late every time, which fucked up my schedule, so I had to freestyle a lot. But, you know, I still was appreciative. But you know I put up $1 million. So to put that in perspective, I've heard you talk about you put up $200,000 for your show. I put up $1 million. And now you're going to say the shit was whack. But number one, again, I haven't seen you make a hit record since Roc-A-Fella, to the extent that you're doing a different profession. So I'd like to see you make a hit record, because this is what I imagined you at this time, not just performing your old versions of your records. But also, I haven't seen you in a hit movie or TV show or anything other than interviewing people since Paid in Full. So you're a person that makes movies a lot, but no one hears about them because they're terrible. But I would still promote them. So what I'll do is the same thing I did with 50. Let's go movie for movie. You show your movies, I'll show mine. Show the one where you're being a drama actor, all those things you tried. And let's show Honor Up. And you show me one movie that you have, that you've done on your own, that's better than any movie or done better than Honor Up. Let's just stay there. I might even do Paid in Full. But also, tell me a movie that you've been in that has been better than Honor Up as well. Tell me some other movie, another movie where they said you were a good actor. So you haven't made a hit record without the last hit record. Besides, it was made a hit record with you, and I made a hit record with you. But you never made a hit record on your own. But I'm not knocking it. But I don't know how you're going to judge my art. I just think that that's, you know, just because you have a platform, it doesn't mean now you start judging the people that have helped you. So now we have to talk about that. And now I'd like to, you know, do that. The Dipset clothes that you wear, I started the Dipset clothing line. We were supposed to be partners in that. But you went around and did it without me after we started. I mean, you remember we did the jerseys and I did the activations at Poppington Gallery? And do you remember me getting people to make and manufacture? And you haven't even sent me a sweatshirt. But I did start the clothing, but we could go clothing line for clothing line as well. And then, so we're going to go album for album. And now, you know, you have a show on Revolt, but I'm confused because I spoke to you because you guys called me to buy The Reasonable Doubt or the Roc-A-Fella Inc. and offered me the 1 point, like just enough where I wouldn't make any money, but y'all just wanted to fuck with Jay-Z. And I said, you know, I'll do it because you guys could go. I don't really want to have any parts of it, but you need a plan so we can make some money. I want to edit it. I had $7 million on the table that I never closed. And like I said, Drake DM'd me, said it could have been fake, but he said he wanted to buy it for $7 million as well. But I was like, just pass the plugs. Pause. Like, if you guys are in a position where you have ads or someone's paying you sponsorship, like, pass it. Oh, I can't do that because of Mace. You blamed it on Mace. You said Mace wouldn't look out. Like, you couldn't do nothing because Mace. That you had to do your own thing because, you know, because of Mace. But, you know, it's funny because Mace is the only one that called me and said, yo, I don't like that shit they do to you. Let me give you a shout out because no one else will. So now I don't even know if it was Mace. But I didn't like that you even threw the man under the bus. It seems like you haven't been the same since, well, let's do this. Let's go back to the TV show. When I first was speaking to you about your shows, I said, yo, I got a plug on BET, and also I'm trying to buy Revolt. I don't want to work for Revolt. And you said, I don't want anything to do with Revolt. And now I see that you're the CEO for the day. And, you know, I'm just wondering why anything that I involve, like, why would you always, you know, why is it that you tell me one thing and do another? And something like that, you wouldn't call me about any advice. But, you know, I know, you know, again, everyone, I mean, I'm not going to get into Revolt's business, but I don't understand the move. You know, I wanted to own Revolt. I would acquire it, not work for it. But that's where we see things different.
It's one thing to dream about big money and being a big boss and having expensive, lavish things. There's nothing wrong with dreaming about these things. But when you're talking about it and you don't have it, and you may never have it, and you just keep on talking about it as if you do have it, that's what you call lying. And people accusing Dame Dash of being a liar, been a liar. We're suspecting that he never really had no money like that. They gave him a dream, an illusion of paper that he fed into, X amount of dollars in his bank account to make him do the work. And when they didn't need him no more, that's when they canceled his contract. This is sad because people watching this in real time. I think Camron, Jim Jones, Mason, all of them need to get together and hug Dame because they're all in the same boat. This imaginary money, they all some imaginary players, but they not going to find out until they're not useful anymore. Do they have a nursing home for hip hop? They need to put Dame Dash, KRS-One, Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick, again, Grandmaster Cash, Grandmaster Flash, put all the Grandmasters in jail or in the nursing home. My bad. Put them in the nursing home and put them in jail if they don't want to go. Dame Dash is going to have to figure out what he going to do with the rest of his life. He ain't going to be rapping. It ain't no more hip hop labels to be created. Nobody's buying rocker clothes or nothing like that. He had pro kids and all this stuff. People not interested in none of that stuff no more. What is Dame gonna do for the rest of his life? Is it gonna be podcasting? Cause he literally standing on one leg. He got one eye, ain't got no teeth. I'm praying for Dame. And I believe he gonna bounce back, man. He gonna bounce back. He gonna get his health back together. He gonna get something going. They might have to clone Dame Dash just for him to finally get it together, man. And I want y'all to subscribe to his channel because he got a hell of a channel, man. I be on there all the time. I left the link in the description box. You can see this video. He got a bunch of other videos, man. And I don't want to make fun of Dame Dash because, like I said, when he was younger, he was a beast. Even Camron said that man used to kickbox. I'm pretty sure he can still swing. But all you got to do is tap that chin, tap that eye. He going to be down for the count. I need y'all to listen to the rest of this Dame Dash interview because this the part where it get really, really sad.
So again, if you do have a platform, and the way I see things is I'm watching you go to work every day and wear a tie every day. It's hard work, and I'm proud of that. I just wish that we would have done that as an artist. And I know it must be for a lot of money. If you have to get up and talk every day, regardless to whether you want to or not, and change your clothes every day, even though you may own it, it still feels like a job. I do believe I could make a lot of money just talking about people. But I do notice that, number one, I have been doing podcasts for free since around 2005 with Kenyatta. And I wasn't monetizing it. I just wanted to give information. I don't talk about people. I try to teach people. So what I'm seeing you're doing on your platform is just tearing down other Black men. I'm seeing you sit with your ops and talk about your brothers. OGs. That's not what I would advise you to use your platform. Teach when you're on your platform. Don't tear people down. You know what I mean? Make them better. If you're going to make money off it, make it good money. So again, this is the advice I would give you if I could talk to you, but I'm just noticing that every person that you have a problem with is Black. And you talk about them when they're not in the room, and that's just not Harlem shit. You supposed to step to somebody and challenge them in their face. Pause. It's like if I smack somebody, I gotta see if they're gonna smack back, punch back, whatever comes with it. But if I'm in another room and I smack the camera, that's not tough. And I just feel I think because you have this platform and this sensitive temperament that everyone now you're just going crazy on people. So I watched the thing, I saw the thing with all I heard him say was you would have done better at the battle if you would have performed the records that he made with you. I didn't think that was a reason to tell that man's business like that. That was an overreaction. That's not cool to loan someone that helped you at some point some money, and because he doesn't have the same opinion of you, you start telling his personal business. You think because you loan somebody some money, they're not supposed to have an opinion? Does that mean that everybody that's around you, it can't tell you how they really feel if you're paying them? Because that's what it looks like. Niggas can't even joke with you no more. When did you get like this? That's not no Harlem shit. I just don't understand what happens. But what I do know is that, for some reason people justify oh, I'm a journalist now, so I can interview male strippers and I could, be in other people's business. We didn't respect journalists that did that. That's a choice to be a journalist, but you're not a civilian. Think about all the people that used to talk about us in journalism and do corny shit that we used to laugh at. No disrespect, but we never respected Elliot because he's not in music, because he was talking about people. Just because you're a journalist doesn't mean you have that you can do things that you might find corny or immoral, but these are funny things.
Camron, bruh, if you listening, just go ahead and apologize to Dame Dash. You can't be beating up on old people on the internet. I think that's pretty weak. You going at a old Dame Dash that ain't got the paper or the power like he used to have. You would have never done it back in the day. Don't do it now. At least have some respect for him. Better yet, have some respect for yourself. Once upon a time, that was your man's. There's people I don't rock with no more. And there's plenty of things I could say about them, but for what? Once upon a time, we was friends. I'd rather focus on the good memories over the bad memories any day. It's so sad to see people that's well off still bickering over some negativity when they got so much positivity in their life. Camron going on and on about how Dame Dash had him come down to the movie set and asked him to get in the movie and he didn't want to do it. But what about when he was desperate and he was eager to get in front of that camera? When he was looking to get some shine, when he thought his career was all over and he was never going to make another dime in the industry, and he went to Dame Dash begging for help, and Dame gave him a lifeline. Now that Dame need a lifeline, Cam ain't trying to give him one. If that's not crooked, I don't know what is. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. And for you beautiful ladies out there, I'll risk my motherfucking life.
Risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl.
Sean got the jocks, I'm keeping it funky like some socks. Ponytail with the box, and my cell phone look like a box. Try not to get shell shocked when I start busting out the docs. I got secret videotapes of your mom cussing out your pops, all over a box of corn pops. This rhythm got your pop